Hello guys, this is your friend Naruto Audio Fanfics and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto fall in love with Yugito in chunin exam. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. 9-year-old Naruto was walking down to the academy on a relatively sunny day in the ninja village of Konoha. A slight breeze was blowing and the scent of grass and freshly baked cinnamon rolls were in the air. As the young blonde was walking to the academy, the villagers spotted him just like they always did, but instead of leaving him alone they started to form a mob. The death glares they sent towards the blonde made him extremely nervous. Great, looks like I might have to run to the academy. As Naruto started to think of a way to get to the academy safely, one of the villagers threw a rock at him and hit him in the head, causing blood to start to pour down from the injury. Get him. Kill the demon. Why don't you guys just leave me alone? Yelled Naruto as he started to run. I never did anything to you. Shut up, demon, you will not plague us anymore. As Naruto was running for his life, he missed the group of the villagers, steep out in front of him, and they caught him off guard. Now we will finish what the Yondaime started, you demon scum. As they started to beat him, Naruto continued to ask himself why, what did he do to deserve being beaten like this? They all stopped when they noticed several Chunin walk out. The villagers began to back off when the 4 ninja walked up to the down blonde. Please stop. Sob, please, I didn't do anything to you, why are you doing this? Sob. So demons can cry, said one of the Chunin. The villagers all realized that the ninja were on their side and continued to attack the blonde boy. Once the villagers were through beating the young blonde, he was left a bloody broken mess on the ground. Before Naruto lost conciseness, he noticed that several of the ones who beat him were chunin and junin ninja of the village. So much for them to protect and serve the people of the village. Hey, I have an idea, let's take him to one of the training grounds and tie him up and leave him for the wild animals. Yeah. A chorus of yaws ranged throughout the streets. As they dragged him to the training grounds and tied the young blonde up, they started to disperse and continue their day. What they didn't realize was that after they had given the boy one of the worst beatings of his life, the very demon that they feared had finally woken up. So those pathetic humans have started to beat the boy even more, fearing my powers over him. What stupid mortals they all are. Sai the Kyuubi waited till they all had left the area before taking control over Naruto's unconscious body. I can't leave the boy here, the dumbasses of the village will continue to beat him and try to kill him. Once the Kyuubi freed the young blonde, he stared a set of hand seals. As the gate opened up in front of Fox Naruto, the young blonde stepped through. Time skip. It was several hours before the young blonde woke up in a place he did not know. The area was very beautiful place and quiet, peaceful. There was a small pond, a large lush forest that stretched as far as the eye can see, and a very large mansion. Where am I? Looks like you are finally awake, Kit. Who said that? Show yourself, yelled Naruto, trying to sound braver than he was at the moment. It would be easier if you came to me, hang on. What do you mean? Naruto was never able to finish his question as he was pulled inside of his head in front of a very large cage. Mindscape. Where am I now? Asked Naruto very fearfully. You are in your mind, Kid, and I am the Kyuubi no Kitsune. So what the villagers said about me was true, I am a demon, said Naruto, even though he tried to hide it, the sorrow was still evident in his voice. No. You are not a demon, a monster, or anything else that those dumbass villagers call you. You were just the unlucky one to have me sealed inside of you. Why are you being so nice to me? Listen, kid, even to use demons, kits and young ones are valuable. We love children even if we are extremely violent. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, good, now I have a proposal for you. I am going to train you and turn you into a great shinobi. Okay, that seems great and all, but what's the catch? You are not as dumb as you seem. I want you to rip the seal in half. What? No way, I may be 9, but even I know that if I do that you will be set free. Goddammit, Kit, just listen to me for 1 second and hear me out. After seeing the look in the young boy's eyes, the fox felt guilty. Why the hell do I feel like this? Whatever, I just need to get this boy stronger and get him to rip the seal in half. I'm sorry. Let me show you my human form, maybe that will make you more comfortable. After the fox had said that, his body started to shrink and change. Once he was done changing, there was no longer a giant menacing looking fox, but a man that was 6'2" with long black hair and red streaks running through it. His eyes were still the same crimson red with a black slit in the center, and his canines still looked like fangs. He was wearing long black khaki pants that stopped above his ankles right on top of what looked like red combat boots. His upper body consisted of a fishnet shirt, a red and black muscle shirt. On his hip and back were 3 swords. One standard katana, and behind him on his hip were dual kodachi. And to top it all off was a solid black trench coat with a 9-tails fox on the back. Now that I am in this form, do you feel more comfortable talking to me? The blonde could only stare wide-eyed at the man in front of him. Yeah, I can talk to you now. Good. Now, as I was saying, I want you to rip the seal in half. Seeing the blonde was about to interrupt, Kyubi held up his hand. Let me finish. When you rip the seal in half, I will be able to train you properly, and I will still be sealed inside of you. Also, I am going to give you a gift if you become strong enough. A gift? What's the gift? Come on, tell me. Ha ha ha. First it will be training from me, second is the summoning contract for the foxes, and third is the biggest, it is the Sharingan. Wait, why would you train me? Give me a summoning contract, and I thought you had to be an Uchiha to get the Sharingan. Don't read too much into this, kid. I don't really like you or care for you. But with you being my container and being weak, it makes me look weak. The summoning contract is so you can summon me into the real world to help you, which is why you need to rip the seal in half. The Sharingan, like all bloodlines, was given to you humans by demons, and the Sharingan is mine. So all of this is to help you and not me. Exactly, kid. Now, do we have a deal or what? Sure, why not? Good, now rip the seal in half, and these are the hand seals for the summoning jutsu. As the young blonde ripped the seal in half and watched the Kyubi perform the seals several times, he was sent from his mind back to the physical world. Konoha. Back in the village hidden in the leaves, the third Hokage was not in the best of moods. What do you mean you can't find Naruto? We are sorry, Hokage-sama, his chakra signature is nowhere in the village. Alright, Anbu, leave now. Hi, Hokage-sama. Naruto, where are you, my boy, and please be safe. Unknown area. Alright, so I just draw a little blood and perform these hand seals and then summoning jutsu. I am impressed you were able to summon me on your first go. Now I have been around for 3,000 years. ANDK, the actual age of the Kyubi. So I have seen a lot and I know a lot. I will be teaching you taijutsu, kinjutsu, and ninjutsu. I won't be teaching you genjutsu because quite frankly I suck at it. Cool. So what are you going to teach me first? What is it? Calm down. Oh, I bet it's really cool and deadly. I said shut the up already. Now then, first I'm going to teach you shadow clone jutsu. It creates solid clones of yourself. That's so lame. Why would I want to learn something like that anyway? Because kid, you can get say 5 years of training with 500 clones if trained constantly for a year with this amount, but we are going to start off with say 25. How do they do that though? If they're just clones, wouldn't the physical stuff has to be done by yourself? And here I thought he was just another dumb blonde. Yes, the physical you must do yourself, but if it deals with taijutsu, ninjutsu or kinjutsu, then your clones can do it. Also, chakra exercises can be done by the clones as well. After the Kyubi was finished explaining the uses of the clones, Naruto was very much impressed with the usefulness of the technique. Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen was searching furiously through his crystal ball for one Naruto Uzumaki. Not finding the young blonde anywhere, he finally gives up his search for the one like a grandson to him. Goddammit. Anbu, get your asses in here now. Hi, Hokage-sama. Asked the fearful leader of the 10 Anbu agents kneeling in front of the aged Hokage. I want Naruto found right now. No more excuses, no more dumbass son of bitches hating him for the fox. Do you understand me? Hi, Hokage-sama. All of the Anbu feared for their lives due to the fact they have never seen their kind and gentle Hokage this furious. You have exactly 2 days to at least find the slightest trace of the young boy, or the things I will do to you will make Ibiki, Itachi and Orochimaru cringe at the ruthlessness of it. Now get thee out of my sight and find him, goddammit. All 10 Anbu vanished without a single word uttered, and a few even pissing their pants from the Hokage's words. Man, I have never been so scared in my life. Who knew the Hokage cared for the boy that much? Said the commander of the group. Hey Wolf, where do you think he could be? I don't know, Bear, I don't know, but for our sake I hope to every god out there that we find the boy, or who knows, we might be dinning with the devil in 2 days. Unknown area. Alright Kit, seeing as you have the clue. Hey Fox, where are we? You never told me. Just as Naruto interrupted him, a vein popped in his head. You know, you little shit, I don't like being interrupted. But because you don't know, we are at my house high in the mountains of Fire Country, and no one can find us due to a chakra hiding barrier around the place. Okay Sue, where exactly are we? Goddammit Kit, just shut the up and get back to work. As Naruto walked off snickering, the Kyuubi was still standing there mumbling words that would have made the foulest-mouthed sailor red from the words. As Naruto's laughter increased, it became audible to the Kyuubi. Oh, I am Sue going to kill that little shit and then bring him back to life and kill him again. Yes, that sounds like fun. Now to go and make his life a living hell. Hey Kyuubi, I think I should send a message to Hokage Gigi so he doesn't worry about me. Alright, just send a messenger fox to him and tell him what's going on, just not where we are. Konoha. As Sarutobi was sitting behind his desk, he heard a very peculiar sound behind him. When he turned around to the source of the sound, he saw a small orange fox sitting on his window sill. A fox, it must be a summon. But who has the fox contract? As he opened the window and let the little fox into the room, he noticed more of the finer details. 1. It was more of red color than the standard orange, and 2. It was slightly bigger than the foxes around Konoha, which just ensured that it was a summoning. So who summoned you here? Because I don't know if anyone who has the fox contract. You are as smart as Naruto-sama said you would be. Naruto summoned you. Yes, he did. He sent me here with a message for you. He told me to inform you that the Kyuubi no Kitsune is training him due to the villagers' ignorance towards the boy, and that he will be back to finish the academy, but his skills will be that of a high chunin or low junin. Alright, but inform the Kyuubi that if he hurts Naruto, I will kill him and send him to the Shinigami's stomach myself. After he said those words, the fox disappeared and went back to the ones who summoned him. Naruto, you better come back, okay, or I swear I will kill the damn fox myself. Kyuubi's house. When the young summon returned and informed the Kyuubi of what the old Hokage said, he told him to return and focused all of his attention on Naruto and his training once more. Time skip. It had been 6 months since Naruto started his training with the Kyuubi, and his skills have grown exponentially. He was quickly approaching the skills of a Junin faster than what he was supposed to. He shouldn't be at this skill level yet. Hey Naruto, come here real quick. Yeah, what is it Kyuubi? I have to get back to training. First tell me, have you been doing extra training without my permission? Yes, I wanted to get stronger than I was. Well, it appears that we will be returning sooner than I said due to your inability to listen. Now last question, how many clones did you use when you were training? The look on Naruto's face told the Kyuubi that he was not going to be happy. I used 600 clones. You used how many clones? I used 6. Don't lie to me, you little shit. If I ever catch you using that many clones, I will kick your all over the 5 Natuons. After the Kyuubi's blow up, he started mumbling to himself over Naruto's recent actions. Well, seeing as how your recent actions, we will have to leave now. But we haven't been out here for a full year. No, we haven't, but since you have used 600 clones, we will be leaving early, and plus you are a year older cause your birthday was last week. As Kyuubi's words hit Naruto, he realized that his birthday was indeed last week, and that when he goes back to the academy he will see all of his friends again and all of his precise people. I wonder how much has changed. Hey, like it really matters, the villagers will still be the same, and so will most of the people at the academy. I really don't want to go back, but I have to, so I might as well deal with it. Now go and get ready for the trip, because we won't be coming back here for a while. As Naruto was getting ready, the Kyuubi started the hand seals for the teleportation jutsu back to Konoha. Demonic teleportation jutsu. Time skip. After a few hours of walking through the forest of the Fire Nation, Naruto could finally see the gates of Konoha in the distance. Stupid fox, why couldn't you put us inside the walls? Shut up, kid, it was as close as I could put us without beginning attacked. As Naruto continued his argument with the fox, he failed to notice that he was at the front gate of the village where two chunin were on guard duty. Halt and state your business in this village. He realized that it was Kamizuki, and Azumo, two trouble-making chunin who had one hell of a sense of humor. I'm hurt, guys, you should at least recognize the prank king of Konoha that made you guys look like amateurs. Well, Naruto, it has been a while and you look different. And true to their statement, Naruto's normal orange jumpsuit was no more. Instead, he wore a dark blue mesh shirt with a crimson-red fox wrapping around his waist and up his arm to his neck, with blood-red khaki pants and black ninja sandals. Yeah, I decided it was time to change my look, so this is how it turned out. Well, where have you been, man? We haven't seen you in almost a year. I'll tell you later. Right now I have to go see the Hokage and get reinstated into the academy and get my apartment set up again. Alright, man, go on through and we will catch up later on today. After they let him go through, Naruto went to see the Hokage and start up in the village all over again. Naruto had a new journey ahead of him and there was no telling how hard it will be. As Naruto was walking towards the Hokage's tower, he was seeing all of the new stores and shops. Once the blonde realized where he was headed, during his thoughts of how the village had changed yet stayed the same, he found himself outside one of his favorite places. Well, I haven't been here in a while. I guess it won't hurt if I stopped for a quick bite to eat. I thought you were over that damn obsession with ramen. Nope, just because you wouldn't let me have any doesn't mean I am going to stop eating it. Hey old man, 10 bowls of miso ramen please. Who the hell is yelling out here? As the owner of the stand spotted Naruto, he had a huge grin spread across his face. Well boy, it's about damn time you came back here. As he inhaled the smell of the ramen and then quickly consumed the delicious food, he started to talk with the old man before two Anbu appeared by him and interrupted him. Naruto-san, the Hokage requests your presence. Alright, I'll go and see him once I am done eating. The Hokage is not to be kept waiting. One of the Anbu had said that he placed his hand on Naruto's shoulder. Anbu-san, I would suggest that you remove your hand from my shoulder before I remove it for you. The icy tone that Naruto used made the Anbu take a second thought before reining in his emotions. Do not threaten, use boy, we are Anbu for a reason, now move it. Faster than even the Anbu could track, he was behind the one that had placed his hand on Naruto's shoulder and then bent his arm all the way down, breaking his arm at the elbow. He brought his fist back to deliver a powerful right hook but was stopped by a woman. Said woman was wearing a very short skirt with fishnet underneath and a large tan trench coat. Hey short shit, how about you head to the tower and don't make the Hokage wait any more than you have. Don't call me short, you stupid bitch. But you are short. Shut the up, fox, nobody asked you. Even faster than Naruto was able to move or follow, she was behind him with a kunai held to his throat. For the first time in a long time, Naruto felt fear of the women behind him. Well, now let's get going, seeing as how you're not moving. With that said, she and Naruto shunshin to the Hokage's tower. When they arrived, the Hokage was facing his most feared foe, paperwork. Hey Gigi, it's been a while. Ah, Naruto-kun, it certainly has been a while. So how have you been, and I hope that Anko-san wasn't too rough with you. I have been good, and no, she wasn't too rough, she could have been rougher, but oh well, at least there was no wipes or handcuffs. As they were talking, neither male noticed Anko pull out a pair of handcuffs or the wipe out of her pocket somehow. Oh Naruto, come here please, I want try something with you. As she was twirling the wipe and handcuffs, approaching him, swaying her hips and leaving nothing for imagination, she gave him a wicked smile that said she was going to enjoy torturing him. As the Hokage watched this, he knew that Anko was just messing with Naruto, but he was curious as to how he would deal with it. He was surprised when the boy had yet to move and was even more surprised when he let Anko wrap her arms around him. As soon as she had her face in front of his, he leaned in and kissed her while pinching her on the at the same time. Normally she would have killed any man that did that to her, but the way he had done it quickly aroused her and she panicked. Bye Hokage-sama, bye you little shit. With that she left the office very, very quickly with a deep red blush. So what did you wish to speak to me about, Gigi? Why did you leave the village and why did you listen to the fox? Flashback. If you do not wish to read the whole flashback, jump to the training portion or skip the flashback. 6 months to the attack on Naruto's life. 9-year-old Naruto was walking down to the academy on a relatively sunny in the ninja village of Konoha. As the young blonde was walking to the academy, the villagers spotted him just like they always did, but instead of leaving him alone they started to form a mob. Great, looks like I might have to run to the academy. As Naruto started to think of a way to get to the academy safely, one of the villagers threw a rock at him and hit him in the head, causing blood to start to pour down from the injury. Get him. Kill the demon. Why don't you guys just leave me alone? Yelled Naruto as he started to run. I never did anything to you. Shut up, demon, you will not plague us anymore. As Naruto was running for his life, he missed the group of the villagers steep out in front of him and catch him off guard. Now we will finish what the Yondaime started, you demon scum. As they started to beat him, Naruto continued to ask himself why, what did he do to deserve being beaten like this? Please stop. Sob, please, I didn't do anything to you, why are you doing this? Sob. Once the villagers were through beating the young blonde, he was left a bloody broken mess on the ground. Before Naruto lost conciseness, he noticed that several of the ones who beat him were chunin ninja of the village. So much for them to protect and serve the people of the village. Hey, I have an idea, let's take him to one of the training grounds and tie him up and leave him for the wild animals. Yeah. A chorus of yaws ranged throughout the streets. Time skip. To Naruto's training. Don't stop moving. Keep that sword off the ground. Come on man, can I at least take a small break? I have been at it for 15 hours. You have a 5-minute break, then we will get back to work. Go ahead and dispel your clones. As Naruto dispelled his clones every 10, he calmed himself and let the information seep in. Once they were all done, Naruto spoke up. Hey Fox, is there a way for you to give me all of your information, skills and such? Where the hell did you get that idea? From this book. Naruto held up a book the fox knew all too well. One of my clones read this one while the rest read the others in your library. The fox paled at this. Do you mean all of the books in my library? Yep, even this little orange book right here. Now the Kyuubi was sweating bullets. Who would have thought that the most feared demon in the world was a perv? I am not a perv, I was just holding that book for someone. Right now, here is the deal. I know about the mind meld and soul meld you can do, and I want you to do it so I won't have to study the sword styles for years. So you just want the kinjutsu and nothing else. Getting a nod from Naruto, he pushes on. And if I don't do it, then I will tell everyone who knows of you, and I will tell them that you are a closet perv. The Kyuubi paled at the thought of all of his respect gone just due to his perverse nature. After deciding that he would rather have the fear and respect he has now and not lose it due to a book, he accepted the deal. You know, you are real lucky I can't kill you right now due to the fact I will die also. I know, said Naruto with a smug smile on his face. I am going to go and set up for the ritual, but I am only giving you half of my knowledge on kinjutsu. What, why only half? Because you little shit, if I gave you all of it at once you would die. The silence spread through the area very quickly. Let me ask you something, Kyuubi, why do you care what happens to me, and tell the truth? Alright, you kind of grew on me, and plus if you die I die. The silence, regaining control over the land, crept over them both and made them feel uncomfortable. So you do care for me, sob, cough, you are one of the few people that actually cares for me. When Naruto looked up he was crying, but they were tears of joy, not of sadness or pain. Goddammit kid, don't cry, I feel bad as it is cause of me you are constantly beaten and harmed and can never have real friends. When the Kyuubi looked up he saw Naruto swaying with half-lidded eyes before falling forwarded into his arms. Time skip. Well kid, we have been out here for 6 months and we will be heading back now. To think he has come this far in only 6 months. He has mastered 3 sword styles and made his own. His taijutsu and ninjutsu are high chunin swords. He is easily junin and genjutsu. He sucks. End flashback. The Hokage sat staring at Naruto for a while before he spoke up. You still didn't tell me anything, and where are your swords? First, I don't want to divulge my secrets about my training, and they are right here inside this scroll. After Naruto pulled out the scroll and unsealed it, there sat 3 of the most beautiful swords Sarutobi had ever seen. The katana was set in a solid black sheath with a 9-tails fox wrapping around it with a solid black handle. The guard on the sword was that of a fox climbing up the blade with 9 tails branching off in every direction pointing up. When he pulled the blade out of the sheath, his breath caught in his throat. The blade was a solid crimson red with a black fox and black flames surrounding the fox. The next one he saw was the dual kodachi. They were set in a solid blue sheath. One blade was a blood red that faded into a night black with a solid red fox guard with a black tipped tail. The other was a night black that faded into a blood red with black fox guard with a red tipped tail. I must say, Naruto-kun, these swords are beautiful. Now how well can you use them, and what are your skills in general? It was several minutes before Naruto answered. You know, I really don't know. I have never been tested, so I am unsure of my skill level. Hey kid, summon me, and I will tell the old man your skill level. Okay, hang on. Well, Gigi, I found a way for you to find out. As Naruto finished that sentence, he started a set of hand seals. Summoning jutsu. When the smoke cleared, Hiruzen Sarutobi stared at a man that was 6'2" with long black hair and red streaks running through it. His eyes were a crimson red with a black slit in the center. I am guessing that you are the Kyuubi. After receiving a nod, he continued, sigh. So can you tell me Naruto's skill level? Yes, I can, Hokage-sama. After hearing the greatest of the Biju show him respect. I believe that his taijutsu and ninjutsu are low chunin and his kenjutsu is ADNBU level. The Hokage could not believe his ears. This young boy who was only 10 was Anbu level with a sword. Could I get a demonstration? Sure, we just need someone to spare him, and also overall his total skills are around a special junin, but that's with his nintai and ken. Okay, I have the perfect person who he can spar, but what about his genjutsu? Well, yeah, he has no skill with it at all. He can barely spot one. If it is over C ranked, he can't even tell he is in a genjutsu. Hey, haha. Well, now shall we go to the roof and start our demonstration? Sure, but where is the one you said will spar him? After the question was asked, a woman with purple hair in slandered Anbu armor and a cat mask. This is Yugo. She is our best kenjutsu specialist we have in Anbu. She will spar and gauge Naruto-kun's kenjutsu abilities. With a nod, they all went to the roof for their match. When they reached the room, Naruto and the Kyuubi saw several Anbu there. So I am guessing that they are here to watch. Yes, Yugo is, like I said, the best, so they all wanted to see the one who would challenge her. Okay, I will be over there reading. As he walked away, Sarutobi saw him pull out a little orange book and start to read. No one to overlook another fan of the book, he walked over to him. You know, I have the rest of the series if you would like to borrow them. Please, 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 can I? The Kyuubi was jumping around in joy that he could finish the series. Seeing one of the strongest beings ever begging him for a book was quite funny. Sure, I will give you the rest of them when this is over. With that, they turned back to see the two getting ready for their match. One of the Anbu present faced them both. Are you ready? With a nod from both, he jumped away. Begin. With that, Naruto shot forwarded with speed not seen in someone his age. As he neared his opponent, she drew her sword and struck but hit nothing but air. Looking around, she spotted him up above her, bringing his sword down for a slash. As she jumped back from the slash, barely avoiding it, she noticed a large gash in the concrete ground. Never thought I would see that style in my lifetime, which would also explain your very impressive speed, Uzumaki-san. Thank you, Yugo-san. Your knowledge and skills are also very impressive. Wow, he has last longer than most. Yeah, but what was that style he used? I have never seen it before. The Anbu that's present looked towards the Hokage and the one who trained the young blonde but found them both giggling perversely and reading identical orange books. Most of the Anbu sweat dropped, but a few of them were inching closer so they could read the books as well. No, Suki, don't believe him, he just wants your money. No one could believe what they were hearing from the man that was said to be the Kyuubi. That's supposed to be my sensei and Hokage man. Why are all of the guys I meet pervs? Naruto was brought out of his mussing by a female voice in front of him. I am sorry, Yugo-san, what was that? I said hidden Mitsurugi, a style I have studied very intensely and have found a way to counter it, but it won't be easy. With that said, she rushed forward and brought the sword down for a slash, then changed into a stab. Naruto, dogging at the last second, was stabbed in the shoulder. Well, it seems that my fastest style won't work on you. A lot of the attacks are single strikes and fast follow-ups, but if I am constantly defending from wrapped jabs and slashes, I can't use my speed very well. Switching his sword to his left hand and sliding his hand down to the point of the blade, he took up his new stance. So you also know the Hirazuki? That is very impressive. Thank you, this may not be my best style, but I am still proficient in this style. After they both changed styles, they charged to start a new fight. Naruto reaching his opponent first and delivering several wrapped stabs, while Yugo was delivering slashes from all angles. Everyone was shocked by the boy's speed and skill with his sword. He was holding off their best and possibly winning. Holy shit, man, this kid is good. He is holding his own against Yugo. I know. Man, never would have thought it possible. Just then Naruto and Yugo separated, breathing heavily. Both of them were covered in several small cuts and stab wounds. I must say, Yugo-san, you are quite good, and for that I will show you the style that I have made myself. It is a combination of Hirazuki and the hidden Mitsurugi. I call it Togaku Ryu Ninpo. As the thought of such a style passed through her mind, she could not help the ever-growing respect for the boy grow even more. As Naruto changed his style once again, he pulled out one of his kodachi in his right hand and held it in a reverse grip with his arm fully extended to where the edge of blade was pointing towards his opponent and the tip pointed down. His other hand held the sword out to his left side in a reverse grip with his elbow slightly bent. His feet were slightly turned out and his knees bent. A style that uses both the Hirazuki and the hidden Mitsurugi is nerve-wracking to say the least. I will not lie, Uzumaki-san, the thought of what this style can do makes me nervous. After she said that, all of the Anbu and the Hokage, who just stopped reading his smut, gasped. Some of the Anbu even paled slightly at the thought of Yugo being nervous. Well, thank you for being honest, and I will be honest with you, I have not fully completed this style or mastered it, but here goes. With that, both combatants rushed forward and met in the middle in spray of sparks and clashing metal. Whenever one would slash, the other would parry. Neither one would give an inch. Finally, the match ended with a double knockout. Holy shit, he actually took on Yugo and almost beat her. Shit, man, he brought her into a tie. I have never seen anyone last that long against her. Due to their fight, they both were extremely exhausted and had to be taken to the hospital for physical exhaustion. When they reached the hospital, the nurse at the desk saw Naruto and sneered at the boy. When she saw all of the Anbu and the Hokage, she thought that maybe his time has come. So, Hokage-sama, is it time for the demon to die? The nurse was about to ask another question when the entire room became heavy and very difficult to breathe. When she looked, she saw the Hokage and every Anbu without their masks on, glaring at her and releasing a large amount of killing intent. This young boy here will be treated properly and with respect, or you will be taken to Ibiki. After the Hokage said that, the woman immediately paled. Not only was the Hokage protecting the boy, but so was the majority on Konoha's Anbu. Once the nurse had shown them to an empty room, they set both Naruto and Yugo in there and let them rest. After several days in the hospital due to physical exhaustion, the young blonde hero Naruto Uzumaki was out and about. As he walked through the village, he was receiving his normal glares and hate-filled looks. Damn villagers, they're lucky I can't kill them or I'd lose my chances at being a ninja. As he neared the academy, he realized that this was the day of the graduation exam. After today, he will be rid of the academy and can start his days as a ninja. As he entered the academy, he saw his usual friends in the back of the class. A boy with a pineapple-like haircut, a chubby boy eating a bag of barbecue-flavored chips, another with gravity-defying hair and a high color hiding his face, and a loud boisterous boy with red tattoo-like markings down his cheeks. "Hey Shikamaru, is that Naruto down there?" asked the fat boy eating a bag of chips. Damn it Choji. I was taking a nice nap too. And yeah, I believe it is same blonde hair and everything. With that said, the lazy ninja went back to his nap. There was a loud explosion and the room filled with smoke, and there, standing back to back before the class, were two chunin. One had a scar running across his face and the other was a man with long silver white hair. Once all of the kids saw the two instructors, they took their seats. "All right class, today is the day of the graduation exams," said the scarred chunin. "We will be calling you in by alphabetical order. You will need to pass all 3 parts of the test in order to graduate." With that said, he called the first student back. When it got to a certain black-haired emo prick, all of the girls cheered for him, boosting his ego even more. As Naruto sat there, he noticed that it was taking a little too long and that the clock was no longer moving. So I'm in a genjutsu already, it seems pretty low, so it's not someone trying to fail me." He brought his hands up to the required hand sign, Kai. Instantly the genjutsu broke. Or so he thought. After breaking the initial genjutsu, he was greeted with the sight of the whole village burning and him in the center of it. "Why Naruto? Why did you do this to our village?" asked the old Hokage as he cried over all of the lives lost. "I should have listened to the council and killed you a long time ago." He lunged at the young blonde with a kunai drawn. As the blonde dodged the enraged Hokage, he was having a small talk with his inner thoughts. "Hey Kyuubi, what is the meaning of this? None of it seems right. Man kid, are you really that dense? This is a genjutsu that's about low B ranked. Maybe I should give you the Sharingan earlier than I planned. Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea, damn it." As he was yelling at the fox, he failed to notice the illusion of the Hokage. It got too close and stabbed him in his gut, puncturing his small intestine. "Ah, god damn it kid, just break the..." As he brought his hands up to the proper sign, Kai, then the illusion was broken. As the images faded and his wound healed, he saw a smiling Mizuki. "That bastard is trying to fail me. Just ignore it kid, if he keeps trying then tear his..." As the fox finished his statement, Naruto was given his score. "Well, looks like you can see some genjutsu, so I guess you get half credit, so you better hope you can pass the rest with flying colors." As the smile on Mizuki's face spread, Naruto was filled with anger. "All right everyone, please follow me outside for the next 2 parts of the test." As the whole class filed out of the classroom, Iruka stood before them all ready to explain the next part of the test. "All right, this is the second part of the test. You will have 10 tries to hit at least 6 of the targets to get a passing score on this portion." As they all were handed their kunai, Iruka finished the explanation. "All right, now let's get this over with. Will Aiko Amy please step forward?" As the young girl started off, the names continued to be called in alphabetical order. When the list reached one Sasuke Uchiha, the class erupted in cheers, the girl portion anyway. "Sasuke, you're the greatest. Yeah, nothing can stop him." As the cheers continued, one blonde-haired Jinchuriki was getting quite furious with love. After his outburst, the class immediately quieted down, and continued with the test. "Uzumaki Naruto, please step forward." As soon as the test began, he threw all 10 of his kunai at once. He hit every target. All missed, looks like you failed this part of the test," said Mizuki. "Mizuki, what are you talking about? They were all direct hits. Maybe you should go and get your eyes checked," said Iruka. As Mizuki glared at Iruka, Naruto walked back inside the classroom, not really caring either way. Just before he was about to sit down, Iruka walked inside. Naruto, the next part is taijutsu, so you need to come back outside." So the young blonde walked back outside to see the Uchiha wiping the floor with the instructor, but why shouldn't he, since everything is handed to him? Alright Naruto, you will be facing Mizuki in this portion of the test. Naruto slipped into his own stance that the Kyuubi had taught him but had told him that it was only the step 1 of the true form that had no name. Mizuki could only smirk at the style, not really caring that he was supposed to use the academy-style taijutsu. He now decided to use a style all of his own. So the demon thinks he can beat me in taijutsu. Yeah right, thought Mizuki. Hey demon, what is that style you are using there, huh? Said Mizuki, sneering at him. It's a style that I made up. I call it Taisen Yoken. If you wish to see how it works, then come one and fight me. Even though he was lying, he knew that the style was not a style but a base for a more advanced style. As soon as he finished his taunt at Mizuki, the teacher charged at the young blonde with the intent to end this and end it fast. You're going to regret this, demon brat, said Mizuki as he laughed maniacally. Naruto just stood there watching him get closer and closer with every step, and then he struck. First dance, joint decapitation, he shouted out as he begun to spin, weave and dance around Mizuki. He delivered devastating palm thrusts and other forms of kicks and punches to the joints of his opponent. As Naruto finished, he stood to his full height of 5'5" and turned to everyone. The match is over, he will not be able to move at all until he gets medical attention. Haha, don't count me out yet, you damn demon fox. As Naruto turned around, he was blindsided by Mizuki, who speared him into a wall. As Naruto went to stand up, he was violently kicked in the ribcage repeatedly until Mizuki heard a satisfying crack. Haha, so you can be hurt, huh demon? Let's see how much blood I can get out of you. As he went for another kick, his leg was suddenly grabbed by iron-like grip and lifted into the air. So you were able to take my first dance, huh? Well, let's see if you can survive the second dance. As Naruto stood back up, he went back into his taijutsu stance with one arm bent out to his side and his other arm pointed down to his feet. His legs were bent outward with his toes pointed in. Second dance, tendon breakdown. Just like the first time, Naruto weaved and spun around and into Mizuki, but with one difference: instead of hitting his joints, he struck all of the tendons in the body. Just stay down, Mizuki-san, you cannot fight like this. Your joints are damaged, and all of your tendons are either shredded or ripped. You cannot win. But Mizuki still stood to face Naruto. He looks over and notices the other teachers and some Anbu move to stop him. Don't you move or I will blow us all up, shouted Mizuki as he unzipped his jacket to show his body rigged with numerous explosive tags with the threat to the children and countless citizen and shinobi casualties. Hi, they backed down. If you wish to be like this, then I will show you my third dance and end your life. As Naruto locked eyes with Mizuki and prepared to deliver his killing blow, he was struck from behind. Haha, how did you like my shadow clone, you demon scum? The smile Mizuki was wearing was officially wiped off of his face. I think I need to end this and end it now. Third dance, bone destroyer. Unlike his first two attacks, his third was the most devastating. He struck Mizuki's chest, ribs, spine, legs, arms, neck and all other bones in the man's body till all were shattered to dust. I will only tell you this once, Mizuki, if you try to stand or fight me now, all of those bone fragments will pierce your lungs, liver, kidneys and all of your other internal organs. When Mizuki tried to stand, he was instantly sent into a world of pain. All of his bone fragments were moving into and through all of his organs repeatedly. Anbu, please remove him from the premises, said the scared chunin Iruka Yuminko. As the Anbu removed Mizuki from the area, they all sent one last look at the young blonde. Many had seen his fight with Yugo the previous day and were still impressed by him. Well, now that little problem was taken care of, let's finish the test. Shall we? With Mizuki being removed from the area, the rest of the class went on to finish their test. Iruka-sensei, I thought the taijutsu part of the test was the last part. What is the last part? Asked one genin hopeful. No, the genin exams consist of 3 parts. The first one was genjutsu. The second was the taijutsu. And the last is ninjutsu. As Iruka finished explaining the test to all of his students, his fill-in for Mizuki showed up. Hi, my name is Kenshin Yakamura. I will be your replacement for Mizuki. The now introduced Kenshin was a short man of 5 feet 3 with long red hair who was at least mid-20s. He had a cross-shaped scar on his cheek with a katana strapped to his side, which was a strange weapon for a ninja. Yes, I used Kenshin from the anime, and no, he will not play a major role in the story. Excuse me, Yakamura-sensei. I have a question, said the whiskered-faced blonde. Yes, what is it, young man? Asked the new teacher, who looked up and spotted the young blonde. Why do you carry a katana in the ninja world? Wouldn't a katana be a slow weapon? Well, normally it would, but my particular style is very hard to beat. Due to the fast movements that is required to make the style work, and I'm not a ninja, I am just a teacher who used to travel to many different lands and picked Konoha as my final home. Explained the young teacher. Ah, I see, but what style are you a master of? Because the only one I know of that would work with a katana is the hidden Mitsurugi. At the name of his kenjutsu style, he stared at the blonde-haired boy with complete and utter confusion. How do you know of that style? Asked the swordsman, slightly worried. I know of it because I am also a student and master of the style. As he said that, he unsealed his swords onto his desk and strapped them to his waist. I was also taught 2 other styles and have made my own. So the rumors of a blonde-haired boy beating Yugo in a kenjutsu battle using my style are true. Yes, it is true, but I did not beat her, and I am still a few years off from being good enough to be considered a true master. Well, maybe we can test your true skills with the style and determine if you can be considered a true master sometime in the future. As the rest of the class looked on in confusion at the 2 now revealed sword masters, Iruka thought now was a good time to finish the test. Me skip. Well, that is everyone, and now the test is over, Iruka-san. Yes, it is, Kenshin-san. I'm glad that so many passed, but will they pass their next test is the real question. We just have to have faith in the next generation of hopefuls that they will succeed, but to be honest, there was one in particular that piqued my interest. Let me guess, one Naruto Uzumaki. Yes, that young man has so much potential, and yet so little effort at showing it. He is a mystery, and a dangerous one at that. At the look of confusion on Iruka's face, he started to explain. We do not know his full strength, and he supposedly mastered a kenjutsu style that has taken most of my life to come close to mastering, and yet he is only 13. I believe we should watch out for him. Naruto, just how strong are you going to become? Thought Iruka as he stared off into the sky, thinking of one hyperactive blonde boy that was Naruto Uzumaki. After the events of the previous day, you would find one Naruto Uzumaki sleeping in. He had slept in through his alarm, which was supposed to wake him up at 5 so he can do some training before he had to go to the academy. Naruto, wake your lazy butt up! Shouted on irritated Iruka Yumino. Don't make me come in there. As Iruka continued yelling at Naruto to get up, he never realized the blonde figure creeping up behind him. Hey Iruka-sensei! The young blonde shouted behind his old teacher. The irritated chunin turned and faced the whiskered blonde and gave him a glare that spelled death. You know, Naruto-kun, I may only be a chunin, but I do have the strength of a junin. Shouted the scared chunin. The blonde's look of humor turned to one of pure and unbridled fear. The thoughts of what his old sensei could do to him bordered on some of his biggest fears at the time. I'm sorry, Iruka-sensei, I just wanted to have some fun. The look of pity on the blonde's face made Iruka Yumino feel a little guilty that he had scared the young blonde so much. It's fine, Naruto, but we need to be getting to the academy or else you will miss the chance to get your head banned. Explained the scared chunin. I know, Iruka-sensei, so let's go. As the 2 walked through the streets of the village, the young blonde finally realized how hateful and disgusted the stares of the people around him were towards him. Hey Fox, tell me something, why did you attack my village all those years ago? Honestly Kit, the real reason behind my attack was I was tricked by one man named Madara Uchiha, the founder of the Uchiha clan. How did he trick you? He used the power of the true Sharingan on me at that time and put me under a very powerful genjutsu that made me attack the village of Konoha in a blind fury. Oh, I see how that would happen, thank you. You're welcome Kid, now pay attention. Throughout his conversation with the Kyuubi, the boy never realized that he was already at the academy and in his seat. As he looked back up, he noticed that Iruka was going through the team list, but he had already known what his team would be. Flashback. You called me Gigi. Yes, Naruto-kun, please come in and have a seat. Once the young boy had taken a seat, he began his explanation. Now Naruto, what I am going to tell you is S-ranked, so please wait till the end to ask questions. I am placing you on Team 7 with Kakashi Hatake, Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno. Now normally this information would not be given out, but these circumstances you need to know. Sarutobi Hiruzen waited for Naruto to take in all of the info. I believe that Sasuke's mentality is unstable. So you want me to spy on him and report to you? After receiving a nod from the old man, he asked his next question. But why not have Kakashi-san do it? The dark look that came over the aged Hokage's face gave Naruto a foreboding feeling. He originally was, but the council has made it to where he cannot do that. What? But you're the Hokage, how can the council decide anything that involves your ninja? Don't worry Naruto, after your graduation things will change starting with the council. Assured the Hokage, and with the blonde knowing his mission, the Hokage dismissed him. End flashback. And finally Team 7 will be Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno and Naruto Uzumaki. Your Junin sensei will be Kakashi Hatake. As Iruka finished telling everyone their respected teams, he left the class to mingle with each other and get to know their teams better. As the minutes ticked by one, the teams started leaving, and then the only ones left waiting was the members of Team 7. One pink-haired girl started to shout, "Where the hell is he? He should have been here by now." Just as she started to get into her rant, the door slid open. And standing in the entry of the doorway was a man standing at 6 foot even, with tall gravity-defying gray hair and his headband covering her left eye. And the lower portion of his face was obscured by his mask. "Hi, my name is Kakashi and I'm assuming that you are Team 7. So met me on the rooftop." After his team finally made it to the top of the academy building, he immediately took in their appearances. Alright, so let's begin with your names, likes, dislikes and goals for the future. Kakashi-sensei, can you give us a demonstration please? Asked the pink-haired banshee. Sure, my name is Kakashi Hatake. As for my dislikes and likes, I don't feel like sharing and I really don't have any goals for the future. As he finished his introduction, one thought raced through all of their heads. All we learned was his name. Alright, so you start us off, Pinky. At hearing the nickname, the young girl was really starting to dislike her new sensei. Alright, my name is Sakura Haruno. My likes are, looks over at Sasuke and sequels. My dislikes are Ino Pig. My goals for the future. Looks over at Sasuke again and sequels even loader. Okay, you next, blonde. The whiskered-faced blonde just looks up at the Junin and sighs. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. My likes are training, ramen, kenjutsu and reading. My dislikes are people who use others, only seek revenge, fangirls, looks at Sakura, and betray the village. My goals for the future, I don't feel like telling any of you. After the blonde had finished, Kakashi gave the boy a proud look. Maybe they won't be that bad, I just hope they all can work together. As he finished his thoughts, he turned to the last one in the group. Alright, your last, Mr. Doom and Gloom. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I have no likes or dislikes and my dream, no, my ambition is to kill a certain someone. As he finished, several different thoughts were racing through all of the individuals' minds. Stupid emo prick. Naruto, Sasuke is so cool, do I even need to say? Great, just what I need, an Uchiha with a stick up his and seeking revenge. Okay, my first thought of you all is I don't like you. Well, now then, tomorrow meet me at training ground 7 at 6 am and don't eat breakfast or you will throw up. After all of the introductions were over with, Kakashi stood up and shunshined away. As the group stared at the spot where the Junin was just standing not moments before. Well, bye Sasuke. Sakura, I will be seeing you tomorrow. As the blonde started to leave his team, the pink-haired banshee said something that surprised everyone that had heard her say it. Hey Naruto, why don't you Sasuke-kun and I go and get something to eat as a team so we can get to know each other a little better? As the blonde stared at her, he realized that she was being sincere and that she really did want them to get closer together as a team. No thank you, Sakura-san, I have some training to do today, maybe tomorrow after we are through with the meeting with Kakashi-sensei. As he walked away, Sakura was a little down that her team was not trying to bond with each other. She knew that they would be with each other for a while, so she knew that they should become close due to the fact that they will become as close as family in the years to come. I know I made Sakura more caring. Somewhere in the village, Naruto had just arrived to his favorite and most secluded training area in Konoha. The only people who knew of this spot were him, the Hokage, and his students. The area was littered with trees and other types of foliage. The tree line was so dense that Naruto was sure that no one would be able to see him as he trained. Hey kid, summon me out so I can give you something. Even though he was curious as to what the fox could possibly give him, he decided to listen and ask once he had summoned the mighty demon to the outside. Naruto does the required hand seals and draws a small amount of blood before slamming his hand down on the ground. Summoning jutsu. In a puff of red smoke, there before him stood a man that was 6'2" with long black hair and red streaks running through it. His eyes were still the same crimson red with a black slit in the center, and his canines still looked like fangs. The only difference was that instead of what he wore the first time he had seen his human form, he now wore what looked like traditional samurai armor. With a normal-looking katana that had a red sheath with designs of both forms of the Sharingan up the side till the guard of the sword. One side had a normal-looking Sharingan, but the other had one that was very weird. They no longer had the three tomos, but they were all combined into one. Okay, you are out here now, so tell me what it is that you wish to give me, and what is that on the other side of the sheath? As the fox glanced down at the Mangekyo Sharingan, he felt a small amount of shame for his creation. When he looked back up at Naruto, he was full of sadness, but he did not know why. Maybe the little shit has finally grown on me. But this is still going to be funny as hell to watch. Alright Naruto, this sword is how the Uchiha received their eyes. How does a sword help me get the Sharingan eye exactly? At the blonde's question, the fox couldn't help but laugh and let a smile creep across his face. Steep a little closer and I will show you. As Naruto steeped closer, he held up his hand for him to stop. Now this is going to hurt, so brace yourself, kid. Just as he was about to swing, Naruto held his hand up. You still never told me what's going on and what the gift I'm getting is. God, you're a moron sometimes, kid. You're getting the cursed eyes of the Uchiha. But what's with the sword? The fox decided to not even answer the question but unsheathed the sword faster than Naruto's eyes could follow. All he was able to see was a solid black blade with a red edge flash across his eyes. At first all he saw was black, then his eyes readjusted and he was able to see again. What the was that? Are you trying to cut my eyes out? Oh, it's not over yet, boy, just wait. At the confused look on Naruto's face, he started to laugh. Remember how I said it would hurt? After receiving a nod, he continued. Well, you see, it's not an immediate pain, and I lied, it's going to hurt like a bitch in exactly 3, 2, 1 now. Immediately after he said it, Naruto was in a world of pain. He knew nothing other than the pain in his eyes. The looks of the villagers, the treatment that he had endured for their protection at keeping the fox at bay, and yet he still loved the village. Even when his skull was on fire, he could only think of the ones that really cared for him, the Hokage, and the two people that ran the Roman stand, and in a small way even Kyuubi himself. You. What the is wrong with you? When I can see, I am going to kick your. Soon the pain left his eyes but spread through the rest of his body. His very cells in his body were ripping and repairing to fast and causing his body to react violently. As the Kyuubi watched Naruto roll on the ground holding his eyes, he couldn't help but laugh at the boy's pain. Oh, stop your bitching, it will be over here in a minute or two. As if on cue, the pain that Naruto had been feeling had surpassed. As he stood on shaky legs, he glared at the Kyuubi with so much mirth and distaste that it would have put Sasuke's glares to shame. I am going to kick your, you son of a bitch. Just as Naruto was walking forward, he collapsed right on his face. Don't even try to get up and fight or attack me. The pain you just experienced has drained you to the point of, well, basically you have no more energy. As the young blonde sat there glaring at the fox, he realized that everything was much more clear and moving slightly slower. What exactly happened just now? The Kyuubi let a small smile grace his face at the blonde's question. Well, Naruto, now you have the Sharingan and now we can begin your real training. All Naruto could do was smile at the man, and then he let the darkness and nothingness of unconsciousness consume him. Oh yes, things are going to become very interesting now, Naruto. After this last thought from the Kyuubi, he picked the whiskered marked boy and moved him to his house for some rest. At 5 in the morning, daylight poured in through the curtain-less windows of one Naruto Uzumaki's home. One would find the young blonde on the floor. As the sounds of the young blonde's snoring aroused the other being in the apartment, the Kyuubi. God damn, that boy can sleep through anything. Falling off of that damn bed of his and he still sleeps. And I swear to God he better stop snoring. As the Kyuubi waited a few more hours for the whiskered boy to wake up, he realized that his waiting was in vain, for the young boy did not stir or make any sign as to his awake being soon. Alright kid, wake, you're up, we have work to do. The Kyuubi, being somewhat of a patient man, was beginning to get annoyed. Wake up already, he shouted as he kicked the boy in the face. As the young blonde finally began to stir and stand up to stretch out, he immediately hit the ground holding his head. What the? Why does my head feel like it's on fire? As the Kyuubi watched him writhe in pain, he began to explain. Well, when you received the damned Sharingan, I had to slice your eyes with my sword. Now normally I could have altered your DNA a little, but you had no Uchiha blood in you, so I had to do it the hard way. As he pulled out the same black and red katana that Naruto had seen yesterday, the Kyuubi stopped as he noticed something. On the sheath, in place of the normal red with the black tomoed Sharingan, there was a blue with red tomos. The new Sharingan was quite a mystery due to the normal colors being red and black, not blue and red. Did he unlock a new version of that damned eye the Uchiha are so proud of? Hey Fox, what were you saying? You kind of stopped talking all of a sudden. After looking into the boy's eyes, he noticed that his iris was no longer the normal black but solid red now. Naruto, activate your eyes for me real quick. Once he saw the confusion on the boy's face, he explained. Send some chakra to your eyes to activate your Sharingan. I want to check something. With a nod, the blonde-haired boy activated his Sharingan and the effects were immediate. There, staring back at him, was a brand new Sharingan eye that he never made nor had he ever seen. The blue and red tomoed Sharingan could be a very powerful one compared to the original, or it could be inferior. You are a very interesting young man, Naruto Uzumaki. Let's hope you don't fall to the curse of the Sharingan. I would like to see how you turn out. So can I deactivate these yet? It still hurts to have them on. As Naruto stared at the nine-tailed fox, he became curious as to what had made the fox